Wow, it's been nearly 3 months since I've done one of these. 2,000 very rares, 400 very rare drop trade ups in this video. It's a lot of money, about $400 or so for this video. So please do me a favor, just drop a like. It's free. Subscribe as well if you aren't already to be a part of the Pixel Army. We're very, very close to 900,000 subscribers, and I really would appreciate your support. But yes, today we're doing very rare to black market trade ups. The main thing, obviously, trying to get painted octanes and painted standards, but the black market's a nice little bonus at the end. All right, so we might as well get started. I also asked you guys on Twitter for some questions, and there are some would you rather questions I figured I could answer whilst we do this, because there's a lot of trade ups and majority of them nothing's going to be happening. I'm warning you right now. So perhaps sit back, relax, grab some food and drink, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a long ride. In fact, you would be surprised at how long it takes to even get these items. You know, if you think 2,000 items in a trade, you can do 24 items per trade. You have to accept, and then wait for it to come into the trade window, and then hold accept again. It takes nearly an hour just of non-stop trades to get these items in your inventory. So yeah, it's a bit of a long one, but I would say it's worth it for the potential titanium white octane we're gonna get now. Okay, nothing there, absolutely nothing. But anyway, first question on Twitter was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I mean, that is that's a pretty heavy question, because I would say that time has never been so moving so fast, if that makes sense. So like, the world we live in, the society we live in, is developing and at such a rapid pace. We have no idea. I don't even know where I see the world in 5 years, you know, let alone myself, where I could be like, the world could be exactly the same. It could be entirely different. I mean, I guess the way to look at it is, where was I and where was the world 5 years ago, and how does that compare to today? And to be honest, they are vastly different. 5 years ago, I was in McDonald's, and to be fair, 5 years ago, I was about 2 weeks away from uploading the crate opening that would change my life. I was on 1,000 subscribers, and I was a couple of weeks away. Oh, forest green octane. Okay, we move. And I think Donald Trump had just been elected president, if I remember correctly, and I was, you know, a couple of weeks away from uploading the video where I got Crimson Lightning wheels that are now called voltaics, that would basically start the growth of my channel and the journey to being a full-time YouTuber, which I have been now for nearly 5 years. So I mean, if we think about it, 5 years from now and 5 years ago when I started, I'm at the halfway point of my 10-year YouTube career, and that's 5 years in the future. So where do I see myself in 5 years? 5 years is so long. If you were to say a year, I'd be like, oh, doing YouTube 100%. Not even like, genuinely not even a question. Because the way I've always done YouTube with regards to it being my full-time job is look at it on a year-by-year basis. And every year I think to myself, is it any less likely that I'll be a YouTuber next year? And the answer is always no. It always is certain. Every time I've asked myself in the last 5 years, or 4 years and 9 months, should we say, every time I've asked myself, do you see yourself being a YouTuber in a year? The answer's always been a resounding yes. So I definitely don't see that changing for another year. But to go a whole 5 years? I mean, I wish someone asked me back then, 5 years ago, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I wish I answered it, because I wonder what I would have said, having been on 1,000 subscribers, working at McDonald's, and being just under a year away from going to university, which I never did in the end. What would I have said? Where would you see yourself in 5 years? I might have said, I see myself with a degree. I might have said, I see myself married. Oh, I wish I had that. I wish someone 5 years ago asked me, and I answered it, and then I could cross-check. So I suppose, for that reason, I will cross-check it. So, I mean, we'll start simple. In 5 years' time, I will have 1 million subscribers. That's guaranteed. Come on. So that's exciting. Then, it's 5 years is so long. I don't even know if I'd say. I want to say I'll still be a YouTuber. Yeah, in some way, shape, or form. Surely. I don't know, 5 years is just it's so far into the future. Will I still be doing Rocket League in 5 years? I mean, that's weirdly like a harder question to answer. I feel like YouTube, in some aspect, I will be doing in 5 years, definitely. I will say that. I suppose the main thing would be, do I see myself doing Rocket League YouTube in 5 years? I don't see why not. other than the reason being that 5 years is a very long time and I'll be nearly 30 and that's unbelievable. So I think still doing YouTube in some way, shape or form. Hopefully I'll be jacked. Hopefully I'll have my own house. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Bitcoin will be, well, let's see, if I had to make a Bitcoin prediction 5 years time, 5 years from now, the most I think it would have hit, I mean, do I go bold and say, you know, within 5 years, Bitcoin will have at some point hit $200,000? You never know. Definitely 100,000 at some point in the next 5 years. But, oh, it's all very exciting, isn't it? Like I said, society, everything is moving so fast. There's so many opportunities to be had. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. So, yeah, thank you for your question. Didn't expect to have some kind of midlife sort of review. But there we go. The next one is absolute worst decision when creating a video, in your opinion. The worst decision when creating a video. That's an interesting question. So not necessarily the worst video I've ever made. To be honest, I wouldn't know how to answer that. Worst decision. Oh, Lime Standard. When creating a video, in your opinion. That's a really... Because to be honest, most decisions when making videos don't really have that many repercussions or, you know, anything like that. So maybe it was attempting the 100,000 steps in a day challenge with some really poor quality trainers. Like, I went the 100,000 steps from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. with these basically flat white trainers that just weren't built for the job. And it was like over 50 miles. So if you want to go and watch that 100k steps video, it's one of the best videos I've ever made. But probably the worst decision I made was attempting that challenge with the footwear that I did, because it didn't help me. I think the actual physical activity was fine. It was just the disadvantage I gave myself by the equipment I was using. So I would probably say that. Next up, how's life, and how long do you think it took you to build your inventory? Well, I know how long it took me to build my inventory. It was, you know, it's been over 5 years, because that's how long I've been making these videos. I sometimes go back and watch my old videos from 2016, sometimes training videos from 2017, and I'm like, wow. But first of all, look at the interface of the game. It looks entirely different. But then my inventory, like, it was so small, obviously. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people seem to think that I just built my way up to this inventory, like I traded, etc., etc. The vast majority of my inventory I owe to the fact that I put money into the game. You know what I mean? Like, all these items here today, I wouldn't have had them had I not, you know, put money into the game, you know, for credits and stuff like that. So basically, anyone can have an inventory as big as me if they just spent a load of money on it. So obviously, I wouldn't recommend that, because there's better things to spend your money on, and I would only do it if I were getting some kind of return, i.e. through YouTube or Twitch or something like that. So it's just been a very gradual, but at the same time quite rapid increase of stuff accumulated over the last 5+ years. So that's that. And how's life? Life's going well, I would say. At the moment, I'm in the process of, I would say, moving. You could say, like, going through applications and stuff. So moving out of this house, which I've been in since July 2020, I'm going to be moving into another house, which is very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are as well. Maybe I'll do some kind of vlog or some kind of house tour when I'm there, because it is very nice. It is very, very nice. So yeah, life's going well. I finally got myself back in the gym for the last few weeks, which is good. Feel good about that. And yeah, life isn't too bad. Thank you so much for asking. Now, I suppose we'll just move on to the next question. Let me check as well. I'm definitely recording. I am indeed. So, how's life? Again, thank you for asking. These are new questions I haven't seen. Favorite car preset? You run quite a few, and it gets confusing to keep up. So the thing is, with Rocket League, it's very difficult to break away from the old faithful, I would say. So I always find myself going back to the titanium white octane. And I'll tell you what's crazy is, you know, I've used the white octane so much, and we're actually obviously going for one today, that the regular plain octane looks really wrong to me. Like, it doesn't look like an octane to me unless it's titanium white. So yeah, it really, my favorite preset is probably just the white octane, and then any variation of stuff. You know, there's so many new black markets coming to the game now where I can't pick just one thing. I can't pick one decal. You know, I think at the moment I'm rocking the orange Interstellar, but before that I was rocking the titanium white Bodacious, which is only a very rare, but I think looks very, very cool. We got the white Apex wheels, which have they've become a little bit of a staple of my channel, obviously giving one pair away at 900,000 subscribers, so please subscribe down below. And obviously I've got 2 pairs, another lime standard, man, not the one. So probably is just white Octane, white Apex in some kind of variation. Black standard I do really like, and I tend to use that a lot. But the gold explosions, that really changes based on what's in the game. I like the new Nightmare gold explosion. You know, there's loads of gold explosions that I could use. But, you know, other cars that get special mention, of course. The Nissan Skyline, I used that for probably a good year, I want to say. And to be honest, no other car really has taken me away from the Octane quite like the Nissan Skyline, but I almost feel like the hype of that died down once it came out to the game again and everyone got it. Like, it just didn't feel as special anymore, and I started getting to the point where I wasn't doing that great with the Skyline. I thought, you know what? I really stuck to my guns with this car. Let's just try out the Octane to try and refresh myself. And then I started playing really well, so I've stuck with the Octane ever since, and that's just me. I'm quite I'm a stickler to the old school, you know, what I'm used to type thing. That's why I feel like I don't have as high a ceiling as some Rocket League players, because I'm so used to my sort of keybinds and controller settings where they're not as optimal for being good at the game, but I just don't want to go through that few weeks, few months period of just sucking at the game, getting used to new keybinds. I know if I want to get massively better at the game, I would have to, you know, change a few of my bindings, but it's just so hard to talk myself out of the muscle memory that I've built up over the years of playing this game. So yeah, a little bit of a different one there. Here's a question: how do I rank up and progress? My team isn't the best. I mean, it's always the same generic advice, unfortunately, so I don't know what else to tell you other than, I mean, if it really is that bad, then just play with your friends. Just play with people that are, you know, are at least as good as you, that can put in decent performances for the most of the time. Rocket League is best when you play with people and when you play with friends. Solo queuing, I mean, you have to be really, really into your Rocket League to just always come on and solo queue. Like, I don't do that. I do solo queue, you know, from time to time, but it takes a lot to really just hop on and think, you know what, I'm going to solo queue today and essentially put my gaming experience fully in the hands of others, essentially. Like, that is a difficult thing to do, so try and find people to play with, I would say. Right, what was the first video that started the great growth of your channel? Basically, what was your first video that popped off in views? So yes, again, this was just under 5 years ago when I did a crate opening that was going to be my last crate opening, and I got at the time, the most expensive wheel in the game. So in today's currency, the wheel I got in that video, just a painted exotic, bear in mind, this might surprise some of you free-to-play players. In today's currency, the wheel that I got in my first crate of that video, oh, that's huge, Crimson Standard, was worth 10,000 credits for just a painted exotic wheel. Crimson Voltaics, if you go and look at them, they still look great. They're just quite old. So I got that in a video. It was insanely lucky. I uploaded it and that popped off. And then after that, I uploaded every day for nearly a year. Then my PC broke, which is the same PC I'm still using, by the way. I went from 1,000 subscribers to about 250,000 subscribers when my PC broke. So that was 1 year, and that was the video that really sort of popped off and everything like that. So I always look back to that time with great fondness. So yeah, thank you for asking your question. Very important question. Do you like trains? I mean, I wouldn't call myself a train spotter, a train lover, or anything like that, but I do enjoy, actually. For someone who doesn't like traveling, to be fair, I do enjoy going on a train. I love that I'm a very punctual person. I'm very much time-based. I look at the time. I like being on time. I like things to be on time. And for the most part, trains are very on time, very efficient, very as described. You know, same with buses as well, to be honest. They're usually very much on time. So I really like that about trains, and it just makes for quite a relaxing ride because everything goes according to plan. And you know me, if you know me, you know that I like it when things go according to plan. Obviously, that doesn't always happen, but for the most part, I've had a positive experience riding on the train. I enjoy it. It's nice. It's peaceful. It's cool to get a video on or some music, and yeah, I enjoy a good train. Next up, what got you interested in Rocket League? That's going to go, the credit will go to my man Cazell, Max Cazell. He unfortunately hasn't uploaded onto YouTube for ages, and certainly a long time consistently, but you can go back to his channel Kazal and check out his older videos. I think it was 2016, 2017. He even uploaded some in 2015, I think, but it was the start of 2016. I just watched him play Rocket League in a video, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a try myself, and that was what started my love for the game. White Breakout. It's not bad. And you know, I played it here and there on and off a few months, and then in August 2016 I got really into watching John Sandman's Rocket League videos, and that's what encouraged me to make the Rocket League videos I make today. So my friend Max got me involved into Rocket League, and obviously without Max I wouldn't have found the interest necessarily in John's videos. So a combination of Max and John, they're the reason I'm into Rocket League and the reason I still do it to this day, because it is a fantastic game. I love the trading aspect, I love the trade up aspect, I love the crate aspect, but I do really love the gameplay aspect. And one thing, to be fair, since free to play, I really feel more into the gameplay aspect. It really got to the point where 2018, 19 and 20, it was the same every time. You'd start a new season, you'd get a similar rank to the previous season, maybe a little bit higher, and you'd get a season reward, and that was about it. But to be honest, in terms of my enjoyment in this game, it's been revolutionary to have the tournaments and the introduction of SSL, because Grand Champ, by season 14, before free to play, everyone that had played the game from the beginning was the highest rank in the game. And it was crazy that you'd have people like me at Grand Champ and then the best player in the world at Grand Champ. So, ooh, Lime Octane, that's decent. It's not Titanium White. We are getting to the end, but I'll take that. So I think the introduction of SSL is really cool. It gives me a lot more to achieve in regular ranks, but the extra mode ranks as well. As someone who loved Rumble and played it a lot, even when it was casual, I love that now I can be one of the best in a game mode and be SSL in a game mode. Even if it is just Rumble, I really love it. So, to be fair to Psyonix, Epic Games, everyone, the last year, my enjoyment of playing the actual game and grinding the game, the combination of tournaments and tournament rewards in terms of making videos and getting highlights and stuff, it's been fantastic, you know? So that's how my interest has sort of stayed, because there were times in 2019, 2020 when I was, you know, ticking along, doing daily videos on Rocket League and enjoying the videos I was making, but I was thinking to myself, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know how well this game is going to continue to grip me. But my enjoyment of playing the game Rocket League for the last year hasn't really wavered that much, because I've always got something to go for. You know, it was SSL Rumble to start with. You know, ranking up to GC2 was always exciting. And then this season, the grind has been trying to win an SSL tournament. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, I've come second in an SSL tournament like 4 or 5 times, and we're getting very close to the end of the season. So either I'll win an SSL tourney and it'll be like an entire season's worth of work and it'll be great, or I'll go into season 5 of Rocket League with a very clear goal and objective, which is something that keeps me interested in the game. So it's a win-win for me. Either I literally win the tournament, or I have a tangible but challenging and at the same time enjoyable goal for season 5 of Rocket League. And that's the best way to sort of keep interested in something, if you have a goal to work towards. So that's why I'm into Rocket League, and that's why I still enjoy Rocket League. So there we go. I mean, that's pretty much all the questions that have come through on Twitter right now. I literally just tweeted it, so I understand that there won't be too many. Someone just asked me a question right now. When's the next blind trading? It's been a while. I feel like it would fit right in since you started an old video series like trade ups, pick a clip, etc. again. So at the time of recording again, I do have a blind trading schedule to do tomorrow. But the thing with blind trading is, if another video idea comes along, because certain video ideas in Rocket League, they have to be very up to date. If there's a new item, like a new car or something, like the BMW, for instance, I'll make that video and I'll have to push other videos back. If a fan comes to me and says, hey, I want you to go on my account and do this opening, can you do it, you know, ASAP? Like, those videos will take priority over blind trading, because the thing with blind trading, you do have to sit down, you have to organize it with a lot of people, you have to disappoint a lot of people, because obviously I can only blind trade with 10 people per episode, and I get hundreds of people in the Discord server saying, please blind trade with me. So it's the most hassle out of recording a video, I would say, blind trading. So that's why it takes a back seat when there's other videos to be made. So when I do a blind trading eventually, if I do still do it tomorrow, it's because I finally found space to do it and there's ample time to do it, and I feel like I can do it. So I don't know the exact time, but maybe tomorrow. It's a difficult one. Just make sure if you want to be involved, go join the Discord server, because that is where you'll find out when I'm doing blind trading and everything like that. So again, forest green stand. Another question come in. If you could do one thing differently in regards to your YouTube career, what would that be? Oh my goodness. I mean, the problem with that is like the butterfly effect, and you know, there's no guarantee that doing one thing differently would change things for the better. You know, that could be like, obviously you could change one thing from me 5 years ago and I could have 10 million subscribers right now. Alternatively, I could change one thing from 5 years ago and have, you know, no YouTube channel, no job. Like, you never know. Obviously, I like to think that, you know, I always said this, even if it wasn't Rocket League that made me big on YouTube, or at least be a full-time YouTuber, something else would have done, because I was always just going to keep making videos until it became my job. I was never going to give up because I truly enjoyed it. So given that I like where I'm at now, I wouldn't change anything. If I had to change something, I think it would be... Ooh, Sky Blue Standard. I think it would be make more Fortnite videos earlier, because I made one Fortnite video when it first came out. I was really obsessed with playing H1 at the time, and I kept making, you know, Rocket League videos and playing H1, making the odd H1Z1 video as well. I wish I just, you know, if I had to make a change, again, I wouldn't change this, but I can almost guarantee I'd be at over 1 million subscribers now if in late 2017 I doubled down on the Fortnite videos, because I started making loads of Fortnite videos in early to mid 2018, and that got me an extra 50,000 subscribers. If I was doing it, you know, 6 months before that, it would have been unbelievable. So that probably would be the one thing I would change if I had to, but I don't feel like I need to have changed that. I'm happy with where I'm at. So thank you for your question. What I'm going to do now, because these trade ups only get non-painted exotics, exhibit A, I could do BC, I could go all the way through the alphabet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trade up to the exotics, and then we'll end with exotic to black market trade ups, where you can't get painted black markets, but you could get some cool stuff. It's been a while since I've had a dueling dragons in any aspect, so we'll try and go for that. Thank you all for your questions. You can follow me over on Twitter if you want to get involved with all of that stuff. All right, so this is all we've got left with the import drops. Just a lot of painted cars, painted standards, Phoenix, just stuff like this, really, that I don't see the point in trading up, really, to be honest. So we're now going to go to the black markets, maybe 15 or so to trade up. So hopefully we can get the dueling dragons I was speaking about. I don't want to get juiced. I don't want to get popcorn. I don't believe it. The odds of that are just unbelievable. But we move. We've got our food and drink. Now we get the dueling dragons. Oh, wet paint. All right. All right. I see what you're doing to me, game. Dissolver. Dissolver dueling dragons. One of the 2 Ds. Come on. That's what we're looking for. If we don't get it, we don't get it. It's still exciting to add to the black market tally after all this time. Another Hellfire. That's, I was going to say that doesn't hurt anyone, but Hellfire definitely would hurt somebody. We get the Crimson Lobos in there. If you know, you know. And we get a Heatwave. Crimson Lobos OG wheel to the Heatwave. The OG best of the best black markets now. So here we go. Singularity, not bad. Again, there's no point sticking around for paint because it just doesn't exist on these drop traders, which is a little bit of a shame. You know, Solar Flare, they're completely dead when there's no paint to it, but we got the Dissolver. Yes, Heatwave and Dissolver. That is absolutely massive. Even if we don't get the dueling dragons, we got, and funny story about the Labyrinth, in that video that popped off that I spoke about with the Crimson Lightning Wheels, I also got a Labyrinth in a crate. So massive there. We'll leave the Voltaics behind for good measure. Final one, it's another Neuroagitator. So there we go, and I've got these here, but I'm going to do that in a tournament video very soon. So that is that for this massive trader video. We got painted Octanes, we got a Dissolver, we got a Heatwave. You gotta love it, and I had a good time chatting to you all. So if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like on it, subscribe down below to join the Pixel Army. I've been Pixel, you have been awesome. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Flying in the mist, so haters throwing shade, never pick me, not an issue. I am a beast, I'm at the top, I run these beats, I hold my spot, so stop before it hits you. It's pick up, pixel.